Well, welcome everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. I might have a few other stragglers join us in just a minute here, but this is the Mastermind Referral Group. So if that's where you intended to be, welcome. Glad you're here. We have this group ebbs and flows. Busy schedules, keep people away for a little while, and then they're able to come back. And I always get, I don't know, 10 or 12 correspondence either through LinkedIn or direct email messages of people that have a conflict, wanted to be here today, but had other either a client meeting or something else going on. But yeah, this group's grown now. It's well over 150 people who I send the weekly newsletter out to anyway. And obviously we can't all be here every time, but good collective group of scientists and PhDs, PharmDs, and lawyers, and a lot of entrepreneurs and business leaders here. So it's very diverse. But the whole idea is come together and help each other, collaborate. I've always kind of lived by Zig Ziglar's teachings that you'll get all you want out of life if you help enough other people get what they want. And so that's really kind of the foundation of this group. Each week, we usually have someone from the group present. And so if you haven't presented to the group very recently, if you have in the past, that's great. I know Paul has presented before, but he's in a field that changes by the minute. So it's always good to catch up and see what the newest, latest, and greatest is. But if you would like to present to the group, we have openings. Love to get you on the calendar for August. We have 5 weeks in August that we have. So there's plenty of opportunity. And so yeah, let's if you would like to get on the schedule, August 3rd, 10th, 17th are open. So just let me know if you'd like to present to the group. I'd love to have you. And with that, Paul, let's turn the time over to you. Do you let me do share screening if you've got some slides? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I just want to share my screen. I don't have any slides. I don't
really
do slides, but
well,
all right, everyone. So how are you today? How's everybody been doing? How many of you are baking along with me here in the breaking the 110 days in a row, 20 days something, and all of this? And how many of you are going, what are you talking about? How many thinking, how do you guys live through that? We don't.
Yeah, I'm here in Arizona. See, there's the devil, and
he does. He's got the best thing. That's right. I do have a background. Hang on here. Where is he? I haven't used him for a while. There we go. I should open that up every time I'm in Arizona. But all right. Well, welcome. One of the things that you're always asked for this pitch. And everybody says, well, what do you do? And I do social media, and you immediately see this eyes roll back in their head and going, oh God, here we go. So I try to narrow the focus on that. It's really it's about content, and that I think all of us, we want to let our thoughts, our stuff go out to folks. And if they like it, they're going to come back and get it. So that's what I tell people now. I'm in content, and that content, and you've heard me say this, you should be going to your Google business page. It should be going to your LinkedIn profile, Facebook. You guys know all of that. So how do we create that cool content? Well, there's two things, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of each. And I'm going to start with the graphics one. And that is, I've always invited you to my barbershop, and creating the ultimate graphic to put in there. So let me share my screen, and let's see which of these. This is what I want. I think that's the window I want. I only have a million windows open. Oh, and I always forget, you got to click on the blue share button. All right, there we go. So everybody see my lawnmower there? All right, so here's what I started doing. It evolved to the lawnmower, but I went into, so I'm in Midjourney, for those of you who are wondering. Midjourney is basically made up of three components. One is kind of a style and so forth, and I'm trying to find my latest collection that I was doing. And one of the things that is lovely when you're displaying stuff on Midjourney or anywhere for that matter is that you get to deal with the all right, there we go, with the internet speed. So I decided for some reason to work at fire trucks. So part of my prompt, if you will, is down at the bottom there. It always start with the word imagine, and then it wants the prompt. And what's most interesting about Midjourney, and this will entertain most of you if you have a Midjourney account, and you need, by the way, you need to be on Discord, which is the environment that it's in. A lot of other environments are on Discord, but Midjourney runs under that. And so it just wants the prompt. And what it wants is it wants to know, is there a style or some type of effect, or that this is where these come in. Is there what is it that you're prompting? That prompt could be as little as 2 or 3 words. That's what I would like you to play with. Think of 2 or 3 words, and it can be anything. And the attributes. And the only thing with the attributes I usually do is I do the size. We were, those of you who kind of came early, we were talking about image sizes and so forth, and also, so I sometimes put the size in, but I found that gets in the way. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to play around with fire truck. So the first thing I did was I just put in fire truck, and let me do that here. Well, so I put in fire truck. And then before the fire truck, I just started putting different styles or attributes. So I put in like the Jackson. So let me get rid of this now that I'm here. And let me show you what a Jackson Pollock fire truck looks like. And those are 4 images that are created just based on Jackson Pollock fire truck. And those are the 4 images that it came up with. I can then upscale any one of these 4. That's what the U's are. The U makes it a bigger image that I can then do other things with. And I can also save it in there. I've also thought, you know what? These are really cool too. So here's a Brian Hitch, another artist. Once you click on it, once it makes it a little bigger, I can then, you know, do the proverbial right click, save image as, and I've got an image of these 4 things next to one another. So I did the Jackson Pollock, and this thing now jumped on me because I clicked in the wrong spot. So let me see if I'll show you what all those other things are there and there. So I have like 80 fire trucks. There's the crayon effect fire trucks. You can see each one slightly different. And it just started to be kind of an obsession and kind of I wonder what else I could create. There's a Dr. Seuss fire truck. So, you know, think of something, put it in there, put the item, and let Midjourney take over. And so you will be probably like me, very entertained. That there's my Jackson Pollock again. Okay, there's the Brian Hitch. There's a cartoon fire truck. Now, I thought, okay, is there a difference? Is this my difference? Yes. So there's a comic fire truck. Okay. Versus the crayon fire truck. I think this is the crayon. Cartoon. Yeah. So what's the difference between cartoon and comic? So, you know, that there's also that. So you almost like, okay, give me some synonyms for a word, and then run it through Midjourney. And again, all you have to do is type one item, something similar, and so forth. So I have a whole bunch of fire trucks. I'm putting all of these into a book. One of the things I found is that you don't lose your Midjourney's built on how many images or how many things you actually create in terms of if I upscale them. So I have not upscaled any of these. I just decided I'm just going to play with this for a long time, and then when I want some of these in a specific book, I'll have to decide. But it's like, wow, all 4 of these are really cool. So if I'm going to use these as an example, which one do I do? So that's my kind of my druthers right now. All right, now the other cool thing is some of you have seen images like this, which depicts some profession, maybe some person, and then all their tools, or an item, and then it surrounds the topping. So I never knew this word, but it's knolling, knolling. So again, if you put an item and the word knolling, you will get one of these. And I'm sure you've seen these before, and I had a whole collection. I think I said I was going to come back to those. So let me go back down here, and I may be interrupted by my other endeavor. Oh, these are really cool. If you like to see blueprints, it's not really, the words aren't anything specific, but it just looks like a cool blueprint of the item. So again, the keyword is blueprint and then the item. And again, this will entertain you endlessly. I started putting other neat things in there. Okay, then I got curious. All right, how about if I just put the word town? Forget the prefix. Let's just do the word town. And because I frequently see people talk about town, people talk about a village, and people talking about a city. What's the difference? What does Midjourney see as a difference between city? So you can see it's a little bit more involved, taller buildings and such. That's kind of a very coolish, futuristic type of thing. And if I come over here to my town, to my village. So that's kind of the typical storybook village of sorts. And you can see very different styles too, or art styles are in here. It really tries to kind of blow that up a little bit for us. And then my other one, of course, is the town, which also has kind of little different design ideas and so forth. So, play around with the words, play around with those. By the way, the really cool one is if you put the word tiny and anything after it, it will give you a tiny thing. You don't even have to say it's in my palm. Just put the word tiny and you will get some amazing details. And animals are really great to put in there. So tiny kitty, tiny kitten. I'm starting to work on, I thought, all right, let's take this one step further, and I'm working on this one. How many of you are familiar with Three Crosses from a country song? About a there you go. They never saw the, let's see, the words are up here somewhere. Basically, a teacher, oh, I should know this song. A teacher, preacher, and a hooker were on a bus, and they give, anyway, the song is extraordinary. So I said, I'm gonna take the words, take the paragraphs, break them apart, and do like several sentences. When it switched topics, I wanted to stay on the one and create a Midjourney image, and then I will put those into a video. So that is my Randy Travis, I think it is that's his Three Crosses thing that I'm working on. I enlarged that one just to see what that looked like, and there you go. So that's my idea. All right, then I mentioned to you the knolling. So there's the bakery. So again, one word creates some very interesting things that come about. There's and I even here's one, just here's a husky, here's a Saint Bernard. Again, two different breeds, but some really somewhat different results. You can see the Saint Bernard's got some of his life-saving things when he's saving lives. So that's kind of my Midjourney. Those of you who like donuts, this is for you. There you go. So you can put the word donut. By the way, here's the cool part. If you're going, well, I'm not sure I like that. Well, you can either change one, do a variation on either, or just say, look, I just want you to give me another version. I'm going to say yes. And down at the bottom here, it'll create us another donut shop down at the bottom. But those are my Midjourney things for today. The other cool part of this, the last one, the latest version, is that you can take an image and you can zoom out. And what that will create is it'll start creating images that back out. And then you can say, again, I want to zoom out the upper left one. And again, it creates me yet another image. And that's where You've seen that kind of where it backs out of this and that image gets smaller and smaller and everything just keeps building around it. It's just a series of images. And that's where they get created within Midjourney, that you can do this. They say, here's the fun part, that you should do about 10 or 15 of them, not just 2 or 3, and sometimes it's 15 to 20. And then you just need to put them into some type of video program. I know Canva has one, Premiere. Pick your favorite video program where you can just basically create cast members, and all you're doing is this guy right here is a cast member, and the guy before that, this guy's a cast member, and you just put them behind one another, and so you can see this right here, way down in the middle here, is where that town is, and it will actually kind of zoom in based on how you stack your images. So that is Midjourney, and I just basically started it. You can see it started with Village, going back to my Village that I showed you. I just said, all right, well, that sounds like fun to zoom out of. Or maybe you'll create an image with a butterfly bee on a flower, and you'll zoom out of that. So it's one of those things that if you're curious at all, you can be entertained greatly. So all right, so that's my kind of Midjourney part. Again, these are all images. Very easy to come in and save either the 4 or to come in and just save the 1. And it's just put it into my somewhere on my desktop, if I can click on the right button, and that. So any questions on Midjourney? And let me stop sharing while I search for my chat.
How are you downloading, Paul? Are you right-clicking? Is that what you're doing, basically?
Right. When I have the bigger image, I just right-click. I'm cheating. I'm holding down my Command key and left-clicking, and the little Save As menu will pop up. Save As, and then it'll save it as an image to my desktop.
How do you distinguish between
right
saving the 4 and I'm saving? How do you distinguish between I'm saving the 4 and the one that I clicked on? Because you can't click on all 4 at once.
Oh, no. Okay, the 4 is one image. If I want to have a particular image, I need to upscale. I don't know if I think I showed you that.
I might have missed that moment as I was absorbing.
Okay, let me go back here. Hang on here. Where are we? Is this the one? There we go. I think this was, yeah, that's it right there. Share. Okay, so I think I just did that right here. So I let me cancel this. So I like this guy right here, right? Let me do it this way. I like the guy here on the left, upper left. So
yeah.
I'm gonna click on this U1.
Oh, okay.
And that will almost immediately. And let me drop down here to the bottom. So there he is.
And the V means what? The V
is making a different variation. It'll make 4 variations of that particular image.
So if you like number 2, but you want to see more variations on that, you click on V2.
Right. So let me see. So there's my donuts, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to click on a variation of this. And so there is my V1, and that should come over fairly quickly.
Wow. Now, do you ever put additional prompts in, or do you just hit the variation and let it come up with the idea?
Since you asked the question that way, yes. How's that for an answer? No, it actually is very interesting. Here, so you can see it's kind of building in, but you can see it's the circular thing, and it looks very similar to the circular one as opposed to any of these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so Breck said, well, the variations just come in, but if I want to, as it's thinking here, so he's at 93%. All right, so one of the things that we can do here is if I come over here to V4, There is my prompt.
Mm-hmm.
So I can now modify this prompt if I want to. I can do some other things to
Add
it.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. So donut shop. Okay. So if I do like chocolate donuts, now I came up with something that was really interesting because sometimes it will create some very interesting effects. I was playing with the fire engines, and then I wanted to put an ice cream thing, and I did this prompt change right there. It created the fire truck, but it put an ice cream cone in the middle.
Mm.
So sometimes you get some very funky responses. So you can see these look like chocolate donuts coming in.
When you first started, I thought you were using Discord purely as a means of showing us the work you were creating in some other tool called Midjourney, but it's clear now your Midjourney is something you're doing within Discord.
Correct.
Is it something we can join so that we do it? I don't know Discord that well. How would we be able to do it, and is it free?
Well, Midjourney is free. At Midjourney, you just you install it into Discord. So Discord was created to have meetings and was created way back for gamers so that they had a place to meet and change and exchange things and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And so then other companies said, all right, well, we're going to start being part of Discord. So it's an element, it's an app. I'm going to call it an app within Discord. There's other things within Discord. Midjourney is just one of those. And you can see some of these are on the left. I have these in here. Let's see. This is so there's one called Future Tech Pilot. So this is again another discussion things that's completely separate from Midjourney. On the left side here.
Yeah, I've
These
only
are
ever used it
all
for
of
chatting
my
with people. My
variety-
improv group uses Discord for contacting each other, but I had no idea
Yeah.
the apps.
Right. So Midjourney is just one of those items. Okay.
It's
And let me show you the one I should have started here. So
But-
when we go to Midjourney, this is what you will probably will pop up for you. Something like this. Okay. These are all the stuff that people have created in the last 5 minutes.
Wow.
Or 10 minutes. You can see that people have said, and you can see this is their prompt that they typed in down bottom, imagine, and then they type that in, and this is
That's
what
making me hungry.
what came up. And and yeah. And so the cool part about this is that you can say, oh wow, look at this. How did they create this? And you can see this one, quite a long prompt. Just the description of the prompt.
Now, isn't
Anything
there
that
a fee associated with Discord though? Isn't it like a subscription?
There are, you can create, there's a subscription, and I think right now I'm paying like $10 a month ish. It's
Okay.
more of it lasts a month. You can buy more, but it's basically you use up your credits of sorts, and it has to do with how fast you want your images. So if you don't care, and let me show you the
regarding your question on free, is sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. There's been such demand, they close it off to free accounts, but they do
Yeah.
sometimes open it up. So if you kind of watch it and you want to experiment with the free accounts, you can try to find the weekend when it's open.
Yeah, and there's a couple here, and I think I have. Where is my one of these? It's a new one, and it's just as good. Art. I think it's Artflow. Artflow has a free. It's very similar to there. So see how to generate image with Artflow. It shows you how to do that, but the ideas feedback. I haven't been in here quite enough, and there's I guess they've broken it up. So there you go. So these are other people's things that they've created. And I think that's one of the ways that I tend to learn is I will just go and see what prompt are they using. So let me go back to Midjourney since that's where we were. And there's not, you know, if you like this, so I was playing with this, I saw this 3D Pixar style tick. Okay, so I copied this. I think you saw it in my section. I copied it, I pasted it down here, but instead of the tick, I put in teddy bear. So now I have a 3D Pixar style teddy bear that's sad. And so you can proudly steal or borrow, whichever word you want to use. And there's always some new channels that you can look into. Here's one of the things that, and you can see there's it's freebie. Who's ever up is, you know, is up, is available. So yeah, Donald and Joe do compete for a little bit of attention on Midjourney, depending upon what's in the news. One of the things I found was that this stuff right here is visible to everybody. And I said, okay, that's fine. But I kind of want to play with some stuff for me. So there are ways. There's something called STB here, Sam T. Bernard. That's my nickname on here. But you can actually create your own little server. And there's steps to doing that. It's about 4 or 5 steps. They're not terribly difficult. And then you have your own area that others don't really see right away. This is just your area. So all those fire trucks and all of those stuff is there. And where was my, hang on here, there he, so there you go. So there's my happy tick, right? And so there's my happy 3D teddy bear.
Wow.
And again, all I did was just change the tick to the teddy bear.
And it seems like your usage is unlimited, because I've only used DALL-E so far, but you have a limit to how many you can do per month. But this seems unlimited.
It's not if you start to upscale. Once you start upscaling, that's what uses up your. And it's funny because it's kind of the speed or the resources. So if you're patient and you say, look, just do it slow or that, but sometimes the default is fast. As Murray said, there's a lot of interest in this. So they really want to push as many of these images through as quickly as possible. And that. So, but I paid $10 for last month, and I ran out towards the end, and I said, all right, so I think I bought like twice. I bought $4 worth of journeying, and I haven't run out yet. We're coming close to the month, I guess. But
you have to pay up front to get $10 until 10 work runs, or
yes.
only. But okay, so
yes,
it's not
it'll tell you you're out. It'll give you a little message and say you're out of tokens, you're out of and that. So
it's not free to try. You have to pay up front to get a certain amount.
I don't know the answer to that. I think Murray said they no longer give you the freebie. I think they'll give you something to start with. But well, I should say it this way. I'm pretty sure this part, what I've showed you so far, is free. It's when you come in here and you're saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and upscale this 4th one down here on the bottom. And so if I say this, and then you can see right now it gives me the message there, and it says, okay, we've done that. So that right there cost me some form of usage thing. But it's when you do this, because this is much more usable.
Right.
This is a bigger size and all, and you can do that versus the little 4-square one. Although I don't know, I kind of like the 4. If you want to give somebody an idea of what it does, and then what I've been doing with these is I can save it and then I can use it as we were talking about when everybody came in, my header for my post on LinkedIn, on my post on this or that, or save it to the desktop, throw it into Canva, throw it into Poster Maker, any whatever graphic program you use, and it'll be and you'll have a cool image. And it's somewhat quick too, in the sense of that you can do it on. I've used it on my iPhone. So you put Discord on. I said, hey, I just need an image of this, and it's fairly quick. So that, and then I think, did I show you? Let me do this also. Well, since we're here, let me go back here. Yeah, see, I put it into there's my cutaway blueprint coffee mug. So you can also take these images, because you can start with an image and put it into another image. That's another Mid-Journey thing. What I want to do is come up here to my city somewhere over here. There you guys see, I got interested. I went down the rabbit hole. I said San Francisco. Then I went to the London bus. Then I said, all right, but wait a minute. There's a Coit Tower. Let's see what the Coit Tower brings. Let's see what a cable car brings. And it's really easy to go down the rabbit hole. And there's my lawnmower.
All in one day.
Hmm. Paul, did you end up taking a class or just kind of experiment on your own in terms of learning how to use it?
Everything is on my own. So I use the word, remember I said use a word at the front? So we decided to put the word radical. And so this is Radical Mid-Journey. I just said, well, let's just put I need some headliners for my posts on LinkedIn. So I said, all right. So there's my Radical Mid-Journey. Then I said, well, let's do Radical LinkedIn. So there's my Radical LinkedIn. You can see any one of those. I don't know again, my only term was the word radical and the environment. I really like this one. This is Radical Facebook.
It's like a combination Mad Magazine and steampunk.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. It's
Yeah,
cool. It's very cool.
it is. There's Radical Chat GPT.
Oh, good Lord, that's crazy.
So I thought that. So then I said, wait a minute, this doesn't really that. So then I said, let's do the logo. So I put the word logo and LinkedIn, so you can see it kind of calmed down a little bit. But yeah, there's that. And you mentioned steampunk. If
Yeah.
you use the word steampunk in front of any item, it'll give you a steampunk. I think I have a fire engine that's steampunk.
It all looks kind of steampunky. A lot of
Yeah.
it by nature.
Yeah, there's some basis after a while. My cutaway, I played a lot with the cutaway diagrams of that, the baseball stadiums it created, or the hockey stadium. Again, there's definitely a flavor.
Yeah.
With just the one word. So
It's very cool. I apologize for being late. You're saying you access this Mid-Journey through Discord?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
you need a Discord account, and then you just add Mid-Journey to your thing.
I've been using Discord for 7 or 8 years.
I'm fairly new to Discord. I have it open, but I don't see any place where you can say add an app. Where do you do that?
Hang on here. Let me do this real quick.
Sure.
So this is my village, right? And I started, as you can see, I started way back here somewhere. I said, okay, let's just start zooming out. And so each time it gives me a new 4, I pick the one that I pick, U1, it gives me a new one. It gives me, again, another set of 4. It gives me a new one. I said, I want to zoom out further. Here's me another one, and it gives me this one. So this is my latest one. And to zoom out, there's either zoom out 1.5 or 2. I found that the 2 kind of achieves the same objective, and it gets there quicker. The custom zoom gives you can do one other feature and so forth. And then you just click on the zoom out, and it'll give us 4 more. And this should be a whole separate class of sorts, is that you can also pan to the right or pull out to the left. So a variety of ways. But anyway, so when I click on zoom out, it will say there's my new message. And so as you can see down at the bottom, fairly quickly, it will create my brand spanking new set of 4, which you'll see zoomed out even more. So again, that's how you create those characters.
That's so much better than DALL-E, where it creates great images and cuts off the forehead of a person, and you're stuck with it. You can't do that. That's great.
Yeah, I really do like DALL-E, but I've just been stuck on Mid-Journey since, and DALL-E doesn't really charge anything, I don't think, still.
No, it just has a limit to how many a month.
Right. Yeah. It's just like the Dream, what is it? Dream, not Dreamweaver, Dream something that you it lets you do about 4 at a time-ish, and it refeeds the line, and so you kind of got to be patient. So you can see these are now fairly zoomed out. And I forget how many I've done. I think this is number 10. And so.
Did
did it give you a running total of how much available you have left so that you can monitor it? Almost like, I mean, this reminds me of the business model of the track phones, where you pay for X amount of minutes per month and you can see how much you've used, so you know how much left, so you can add
Yeah,
more.
I forget where that is. I just wait until I'm out. I'm really bad at that. I was thinking about that as I was doing all of these. I'm going, I wonder how much of these I've used. And it's in, I don't know if it might be in settings or usage. This is the part that it's sometimes harder to see where that. So these are my setting folders, and this is where you can set that fast mode or relax mode on how fast your messages are. If you use the fast mode, it uses up your credits or your thing. And I thought it gave me the stylized high, stylized low. It's just how stylish do you want to be, and all this. So this is one of those where you just spend some time playing with it. I just went to stylized medium for now and just seeing where those are. Turbo mode will definitely increase the thing. And let's see if I go into my account. Let's see what it gives me here. Midjourney secure. Yeah. Verifying. Am I human? Yes. Okay, and then I need to show you one more thing. Oh, perfect. I'm in right where I want to be. Okay, so this page right here is called midjourney.com. That's separate from Midjourney, the app. That's one of the things people are saying, look, I want to see what all I've created. I got to go here to midjourney.com, sign in, and then I'll see everything. So you can see right here, okay, so limited generations, 200 a month. So there's my thing, and let's see, 3 concurrent. Yeah, and then you can see how many different, I didn't show you how to quickly create 3 different jobs at the same time. If you're lazy like me, now that I found it. There's my rollover of 38 minutes, bonus fast hours included. I don't see anything else. It doesn't show me. Somebody asked me how do I know how much I have? Hey, it's renewing on my birthday. How about that? Okay, and it's $10 a month. So that, all right, so while I'm here, let me show you my homepage. So what it does, it collects all the stuff that you've created, and you can see, well, so it creates it this way. The stuff that I upped, which was the teddy bear with the blueprint teddy bear, the truck, and then you saw me zoom out. And then before we got here, I was playing with some zoom outs and so forth. So you can see I zoomed out of my little village that I was playing with. There's there's my happy dogs. It does create some really good clowns. If you want to scare the hell out of somebody, create some clowns and add a little description and put them up, and you'll have some fun with people, the clowns and stuff. These are emotions right here. This is just kindness. I just went in there and I just said, let's just see what that. I decided that if I'm going to create some sermons in Chat GPT, I should get myself a nice little preacher. So I went in here and got a preacher and all. I still have my abandoned teddy bears and all this, and just a whole bunch of stuff. This one was very interesting in zooming out. You can see that was the original woman sitting at a cafe, and I ended up zooming out all the way to her, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then, oh yeah, my town was very interesting. These 2 gentlemen walking around. This is just zooming out. 1.5 and 2, I was playing around with what the difference is between them. But let me show you the grids. And these are all the grids that you've seen me show you. So it puts all the grids up too that you've created. And what's really cool about these, so there you see, I was a little fire truck obsessed the other day, and all in a variety of drawings. But if you like any of these, it's really easy to come in. There's my coffee shop, blueberry pan. Oh yeah, this was my fire truck. This is when I modified that prompt. And and for some reason it decided to put the ice cream cone inside the fire truck, which was I didn't know it do that. I guess it thought I wanted that or that way. So it was an interesting learning experience there. There's my latte art and stuff. And so it's a variety of things. And then the cool part is that it does do a community feed. And so there's some of the hot new things. And again, it's really easy because if you roll over it, it tells you what the description is. It tells you who it is. So we can actually go and look at their journeys, which is always fascinating to see what they do. And the best part about this is, again, if you click on the 3 dots, you can now go and copy that entire command that created that. The full command will give you also any attributes. The prompt just gives you kind of that front end. And you can favorite it. You can actually even save this image. So you can see it saved it down to it's saving to my desktop. And so it's very fun to just come in and explore and see what all other people have created and what prompts they used. And it's just, fascinating of what that, if you can build up a name of artists, again, put the artist name in and what you want, and it will put it into that form of the art. So it's very, you can kind of start seeing where some of this concern of copyright trademark
yeah
starts to come into play. Somebody said, well, isn't this just a duplication reproduction of Picasso? Aren't you pretending it's a Picasso painting that Picasso did that Picasso really didn't do?
That's just where I was going with it. I was going to ask you about how I can only imagine what they would do if you put Picasso in as a
There's tons of those.
Yeah.
The way he does art, you would, my God.
Yeah, there's tons of those. And it's also great to create, if you're into games, creating characters. Because you can see there's every face, position, whatever of this particular character. So it's a great tool to pull out. But yeah, it's a very
that was going to be my question, Paul, is other than the entertainment value, what is the use case?
Well, so I like to use these for my banners, or just to throw in, or if you're writing an article, put them into your post into post that was maybe created over on ChatGPT, that you took that text, put it into your Word document or whatever your text processor, document processor is, and you put and paste them in there.
Do you, I know that others do this, but I don't know if you've ever thought of it, but providing a database of images that people could access.
I have started to create, I started to create a prompt collection because I'm insane. And so I did this. Let's see if I can put him in there. Am I still sharing?
No.
All right, let me see, make sure that I have this right here. Is this what I want? There he is. I believe so. Okay, so let me share this. I thought, all right, well, let's share, and then I'll have a question for you. Then let's share, maybe. Zoom is thinking. All right, share, where's my, is this it? Yes, there we go. So I created this. This is the Word doc, and I will put here, let me do this. While I'm thinking here, share with others. And I'm going to copy this link. Okay, so the link is copied. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to put this link here in the chat in a second, but these are just, I went into what I showed you, the Mid-Journey collection, and I just said, all right, well, let's just go and that. So each page has its own graphic, and I used the 4 because I didn't want to use up my resources. So you can see there's a link back to the document, and there's also the full prompt is right there. So this is a Word doc or a Google Doc that I will share with you that you will now have access to. And I just decided, all right, I'm going to create these periodically, put about 10 of them in there, those that are kind of cool, some that have some very interesting prompts, some that are very short, and we'll do that. So let me do this, and let me put this into here. So this is now in the chat. If somebody will click on that and tell me if you can actually get to that. And I'm trying to create new ones. I was very ambitious that I would do that daily. I know all of you've tried to do stuff daily, and it's like, yeah. So, but now that I've showed you midjourney.com, you can probably go there and see your own, do that much quicker and go through the ones that you really like. And
Yeah.
but it is very cool to see what others have done, and then to just modify. That's, I think, and so my question is this: is that something that you would tune into or watch? I don't know, and for an hour a week of how someone creates in Midjourney or something? Is that because gamers watch these people play games for hours of shooting up things, and you're going, and how much are you paying for this? Oh, I'm paying $20 a month. I'm paying to watch somebody shoot up.
Yeah.
And I'm going, am I missing something? So I'm looking at maybe offering some type of subscription of where I'm just going to create this, and next week we'll create this, because Midjourney is starting to be.
Yeah, you could certainly do a test, right? Before before TikTok is taken down in all the states, you could start putting out little shorts, or even put shorts up on your YouTube and just see how many people are flocking to that, and kind of test the market before putting too much energy and effort into it.
Because you saw me kind of go through very quickly the zooming out, and there's a few other things that I go into that, of how to choose which one or doing last.
Can you take an original image and import it and then have it? So that's a thought. Like, I think of Milo's side business, you could recreate, with AI, some of the missing pieces of a damaged photograph.
Essentially, it just does so much on its own, and like, well, now it's done that, but did it change something else too? If I can really say to it, remove his hat, and that's all that would happen. Wow.
Yeah.
But if he ends up with a beard and there's an ice cream cone next to him,
or a peg leg. I want the family to look like pirates. Yeah.
In that prompt builder, when I typed in Imagine, it asked for the prompt. If you put the URL of the image, it needs to be then in brackets, and then you put whatever you want, it will do exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Definitely worth playing with.
Yeah, I would certainly test it, because it's caught our attention for an hour here, and what you're doing, and would love access to your, like I said, I'd love a data bank that you could go to and just sort by image, and pull up all of the imaging just for your own ideas, or offer them, offer the image for 10 cents, a quarter, or whatever.
I feel like Paul gave us lessons 2 through 100 today.
Yeah.
Lesson 1, I don't know how to make this happen on Discord. So maybe if I could talk to you offline. All I've ever used Discord for is my improv troupe uses that to send notes to each other. I can't find where one adds apps and stuff like that. I'm probably not the only one who doesn't know how to start.
I'll have to go look through that. Okay, try this new link I just put in. I forgot to check that it's access, whoever has access with the link. Docs. Google Docs is very good at keeping things secret and how it works, as opposed to not, and you're going, another checkbox.
I was able to open it.
So it's not super secret anymore. Stephanie says she sees it. So
Good deal. Good deal. So, hey, appreciate that, Paul. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
you're welcome.
Love that. We didn't take time to
Oh,
do any breakouts or introductions.
yeah,
So
one
please
more.
put your contact information up in the chat if you would.
Hey, one more thing, and it's Tuesdays, 10 a.m. So at this time, or 3 p.m. our Arizona time, I do a class on Midjourney or ChatGPT or whatever I am in the mood. And let me give you, did I put that in the chat already?
I
I
don't.
see it. I see something highlighted, but that doesn't mean that it was actually that I actually did the copy and the paste. I don't think I did.
Yeah. No.
So this
Yeah.
is
Give us
this
those.
is where you can register for the class. Currently, the classes are free, but that may change here shortly. Let me just Google Keep, and Zoom is taking its thing. So whatever you need to tie up, Breck, while this thing is pasting. There you go. So there's a 10 a.m. class and the 3 p.m. class.
Perfect. Perfect. Appreciate that. Speakers looking for August presenters. And so I don't know if Dr. Kristen, if you're ready to present to the group. We haven't heard from you yet.
I know, Breck. I'm so impressed with all the technology today. I'll have to come up with a really edgy topic. But I'd be open to it. Let's talk more.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, no, love to have you and your career counseling and coaching capabilities. And Stephanie, love to have you present to the group. It's been a while. Great to have you here. And yeah, I'd love to hear more about what your expertise is and teach the group here. So I know you're in leadership, correct? Your leadership training and
yeah, leadership and emotional intelligence. Kind of focusing on right now, I'm actually focusing on collaborating and pulling people together to build something that's even beyond just my scope.
Awesome.
So that's really exciting. Just kind of launching that website and getting that platform up and running and going. So
when you're ready, we'd love to hear from you, and we can all use more intelligence, emotional or otherwise.
Yeah. If you, I don't know if this would be of something of interest for any of you. My book is about my lived experience with depression and how I've kind of stepped out of depression and into leadership. And that's kind of what took me on my whole career path as it goes. So happy to share that with the group anytime. Just let me know. And I'm hoping to be able to make more of these. It's just been a little crazy over here.
I understand. Yeah, August is open, August 3rd, 10th, 17th. Love to hear from you. Martin, we haven't heard from you for a while. I'd love to have you tell us what's new in your life and what major projects you're working on.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And then Brian's got a new venture that he's underway, and so when he's ready to announce it to the world, we'd love to have a presentation from Brian.
Thanks, Breck. We're there.
Good.
Now we're just getting some bugs worked out. I actually resigned on Monday my position, so we're sails up.
You're ready to go.
The sails are up on the boat. We're ready. So thank you.
Yeah, just let me know what weeks you guys would like to present. You can shoot me a direct message, or ping me on LinkedIn or whatever. You could support me if you would all please, if you haven't already yet. I know many of you have. Please subscribe to my YouTube. I'll put that link in here. As the 100,000 plus people that are following the Scary Drug Facts and Healthcare Disruptor on TikTok may be limited as more and more states are considering banning TikTok. I'm trying to move that audience over to YouTube.
Is there a news source for that, Breck, or anything other than what we occasionally hear after?
Yeah, I just saw a recent list Florida and but the list is growing of people's state government considering ban. Of course, Montana has already banned it in the state of Montana.
But you can't watch TikTok in Montana, or
I was wondering that too, or can't post. Like, how do they know you're in Montana? It's the internet.
Right. Yeah. Based on your IP address.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
know.
how do I block you getting to it if you're in that state?
Yeah. We can't find out who brought drugs into the White House, but we can tell if somebody posted on TikTok.
Well, it's interesting because VPN, which is part of, there's certain apps that don't like, well, if you're watching At Bat Baseball, if your VPN is on, it won't let you. I'm going, well, yeah, of course I'm trying to steal the Diamondbacks home broadcast, but what do you mean I can't use VPN? Isn't that what VPN is
the same
for?
the same with how they monitored sports booking before more states allowed, sports booking. And yeah, so it's inevitable that more and more states will look at controlling, that, which is pretty interesting topic in itself. We could do a whole meeting just on that and the free speech piece, but anyway, yeah, just please let me know when you're available. Love to have you present next week, July 27th. We'll do another LinkedIn posting party. We haven't had one of those in a while, so come with a post that you want a lot of traction for. Maybe it's announcing your new project, and we turn your 200 or 300 impressions into 2,000 or 3,000 impressions when we all collaboratively participate in those posting parties. So hope to see you all next week, but thanks so much, Paul, again, and you all have a great rest of your week.
Questions, let me know.
Yeah,
See
take care,
you
y'all.
Tuesday
Really
in class.
Really interesting.
now.
Thanks.
Brian, I'll see you in about 1 minute.
Save the chat. Give everybody 2 seconds more to save the chat if you haven't done it. All right, take care.